actually came across a particular video of somebody talking about raw hairs not being in China and also bouncy hairs and things like that, all those saga and all of those things. So I feel like with the so far the amount of knowledge that I've gathered so far, I feel like I can actually talk about this situation. So about raw hair not being in China is not like as if China can produce hairs anymore. But you should just know how the system works. If you know how the system works, there are certain arguments that you don't need to get yourself involved in. People source hair from different places around the world. People source hairs from different places and around the world. And mind you that China was one of the top manufacturing industry before other countries started, doing all their own stuff. China was like the first, like one of the first, then India, before Vietnam started doing their own processing and distribution. You understand? So you cannot just come and say that okay, China can produce a raw hair. They can produce a raw hair. Rather, they can produce a raw hair, but the origin will not be from China because most of the hairs produced in China is processed hair. That is why it seems like as if China cannot produce raw hairs. China imports their hairs from Laos, Burma, Vietnam, India, Malaysia, Indonesia, different places that you can think of around the world. They import their hairs from there. And I actually saw one video where somebody was talking about the fact that Vietnam don't have like a very good bouncy and things like that. And most of the hair that Vietnam people sell are actually gotten from China. Okay, let me just clarify it a little bit. In as much as yeah, China is one of like the top distributor or top manufacturing companies, and Vietnam like started recently to start distributing and start manufacturing. There are certain instruments or there are certain ways of processing that Vietnam have not yet adapted. So in that process, they actually lean onto China to actually like get some of the job done. Not necessarily like Vietnam does not have their own independent manufacturing company, but there are certain factories that still lean on Vietnam to actually get their hairs processed because if they process it on their own with the little tools that they have over there, they might not be able to get the perfect process. And for you to say that okay, Vietnam people don't have like their hair are so coarse and things like that. Yes, Vietnam people's hairs they are coarse, but that does not still excuse the fact that there are people still in that same Vietnam that manufacture their hair properly and process it properly for you to be able to use it. So all you just need to do is to just find like a good supplier that can do their hairs properly for you and get it done the best way possible. I hope this helps a little bit.